What is up, guys? The LA Gamer here, and right now we are at the team selection screen. Now there's no real way for me to surprise you guys with what I'm about to do. You guys have likely already read the title, you've likely seen the thumbnail, you know what's about to happen. But either way, there's going to be a new series on my channel. There's going to be a rebuild series. Now I know I have a fantasy draft franchise, I know I have a I have a career mode, and then the last thing I really wanted, and I have Ultimate Team too, but the last thing I really wanted to bring was a rebuild mode. Now the reasoning I wanted to do that is because one of my favorite things in terms of rebuilding franchises is that when you rebuild a franchise, you really have to think. And, you have to know football, you have to know what you need to fix, you need to know what players can do what. And personally, I love following different sports. I have a lot of knowledge, I believe, on players in all these different sports. So I feel like if I did a rebuild franchise, we could be quite successful with whatever team we decide to go with. So I've done rebuilds before. I don't know if I've done one. I know I have done one for Madden. But for this year, we are going to the San Diego Chargers as the first rebuild franchise. I want to emphasize a couple of rules of what we're going to be doing here before we actually get going. So that's going to be something I describe right now. I'll be a team builder. Obviously, that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to build the team. So let's emphasize, let's just use this custom coach. I don't want to make this. I like how they already have a preset coach. Chris Dale, this will be our coach. This will just be what he looks like. It doesn't have a huge influence. I don't really want to make his name LA Gamer or anything. It's not a big deal. We'll go to league settings. I don't think this shouldn't affect anything, so I won't be playing games. But let me emphasize a couple of things. So I want to talk to you guys just a second about what I want to do. So I won't be playing the games. I will be simming seasons. We'll be doing a lot of trading, a lot of fantasy drafts. Or not fantasy drafts, rookie drafts, free agency. That's going to be where we do most of our team building, is probably in free agency and the rookie draft. And hopefully you can rebuild the team in about 5 to 10 years. That will mean that I'm going to try to do a season and episode, so it means it'll likely be about a 5 to 10 episode series. I'll try to post every day to every other day of the series. It's pretty easy to make because it's just a lot of talking, a lot of playing. There's not a lot of editing that needs to go into this, so it's pretty easy to film and upload. So I believe we can go through this series pretty quickly. So the league's going to be starting. So how about while this league's starting in the background, let me just finish up what I was going to say about this this franchise. So we're going to be doing the Chargers to start, obviously, but if you guys have other franchises you believe I should do, I will get to them after I do this one. So comment them down below, and whichever ones get the most comments, whichever one gets the most likes, I'll be paying close attention to it. Will be the ones that I do. I'll determine which franchises I do based off how many comments and how many likes different franchises get. Preferably, I would like you guys to write down franchises that actually need to be rebuilt. I don't want you guys to write down these really good franchises that don't really need any fixing to their team. Now, quickly, we're going to look through the roster, look at what we need to do. My reasoning for picking the Chargers, for those of you who are curious, is I am a Chargers fan, and obviously their team needs a lot of work. So this is kind of my way of trying to fix things, is trying to hop in here and hopefully I can put some expertise on this and make this team pretty good. So quarterback, we have Phillip Rivers, obviously getting up there in age. There's not a lot we can do with him, but he's decent. He's a pretty good quarterback. It's just that he's a little bit older, so we might want to draft one. If there's a nice one upcoming, we'll look into it. Running back obviously needs a lot of work. We have Melvin Gordon, who didn't do anything for us last year. I might make him the starter though, because their overalls are not that different, and he is the youngest player of them, so maybe he can have a good year, and maybe we can develop him. So I'll likely make him the starter for this year. Fullback, we have Derek Watt. Wide receivers, we have Keenan Allen, Travis Benjamin, James Jones, who's I don't think James Jones is bad, and then we have Stevie Johnson. So Keenan Allen obviously is kind of the highlight of this though. Just an absolute stud of a receiver at a young age. Tight end Antonio Gates, he's a stud, but he's a little bit old. When to look at our offensive line, it needs quite a bit of work. Primarily the left guard position needs work. Orlando Franklin's not good. King Dunlap is going to be alright. Matt Lawson we can work with. Right guard DJ Fluker, he's young, so we can work with him. Right tackle Joe Barksdale, it's fine with me. Then we have Joey Bosa at left end, obviously a total monster. I'm hoping he can come up pretty big for us. I think he can. He's a pretty beast player, so I'm not too worried about him. Corey Luga, let's just keep looking. We got Jeremiah Adechu, we got Manti Te'o, who's not actually that bad. Melvin Ingram, Jason Verrett. We have a pretty nice cornerback core. If we can get one more cornerback in here, we'll be pretty good. But I like Brandon Flowers, I like Casey Hayward, and I like Jason Verrett. Brandon Flowers overall has dipped a lot. 78 overall is really bad. Free safety, at least really bad for him. Dwight Lowry and Jaleel Adai at strong safety. So there's not really a position that doesn't need to be worked on. There's not really. I think our strength is probably cornerback. Then we have some pretty decent receivers too, but I think we just need a lot of work in general. I don't really want to trade any picks or anything. I want to do a lot of my rebuilding for these first couple of seasons through free agency and through the rookie draft. So let's just send to the next week. I'm going to try to do rookie scouting as much as possible, and I'm going to let you guys watch all this. I don't really think I'm going to be cutting any of these videos. Like, I don't think I'm going to be doing much editing at all. I don't think I really need to, unless there's like really long loading screens. But outside of that, I want you guys to be able to look at every single little thing I do when it comes to scouting, when it comes to free agency. I think it'll be better that way, because then you guys will be able to kind of connect with what I'm doing. So I guess I should probably look at my record real quick before I do all this. Now, one thing I want to say real quick, it's going to force me to scout this first player, so let's just get this one over with. As this guy's a beast, Alan McCree. But I also want to say I really like the fact that they have these really nicely. The graphics on these players, the ones that they're projecting us to draft, I really like the graphics on these guys. They look like legitimate players, but it's not like the fake pictures that they had last year, where they had like a lot of guys who looked the same. I actually like it a lot, but we're actually 2-0 right now. I'm still gonna look at some top prospects. I think we'll probably finish at a max of 8-8, 7-9, and maybe we'll trade up. So let's look at this top-notch receiver. I like receivers a lot. This guy's got some great catching stats. 6'4", top 5 projected player. Now let's look at this guy, Tannen Taylor. Good accuracy and stuff. I don't know if he's a top-notch pick. Henry Bender, Sean Gay. I'm looking at positions that would help a lot. Marcus Waddle. I just like receivers a lot, to be honest. That catch is not that good though. I won't look into him. I want to wait. I think it's probably. I'm trying to remember when it is that the draft combine stats come in, because that kind of makes a big influence on who I'm gonna get. Because obviously athleticism plays a big part in who you're going to draft. So we got Tommy Crin, so we got a couple quarterbacks here that are first round projected, so that's kind of a promising thing. And this guy is a beast. A- throw accuracy short, B- throw accuracy deep, and A throw power. I like that guy a lot, actually. I like the A throw power a lot. I think that's really promising. We have 40 points left. Maybe we can scout one more guy. Let's look. We can get. I can want to look at running backs for a second. We have one first round projected, Victor Tolbert. A stiff arm, A- carrying, B+ ball carrier vision. If we get ourselves a really talented running back, a guy who can maybe be like a Todd Gurley last season, or a young AP, some crazy running back, that would really help our team a lot. Because I think one of the big issues with the Chargers is they haven't had a running game since LT left. They had, I'm trying to think who they may have had that did decent for them. I think we may have had a decent running back one year, but I think for the most part, ever since LT left, it's been kind of a rough road for the Chargers, because they can't really get their offense going. I want to make Gordon the starter, actually. But either way, we're 3-0 right now, so I can't be too freaked out about what's going on. One person got injured though. Who got injured? Oh, how does our backup quarterback get injured if he shouldn't even be playing? So let's keep scouting. We're gonna be scouting week by week, because if you don't scout for this week and you keep simming, I'm pretty sure you lose like half of the points of the previous week. There's some weird algorithm that goes into it, but either way, I don't want to lose any scouting points. I want to be able to do as much scouting as possible. So, this guy is not that great, I don't think. I don't know. Marcus Waddle. I want to look at this guy. He's probably got great athleticism because he's 6 feet tall. I'm assuming that's where a lot of his skills come from. We do need a strong safety a lot. This guy's from USC. I like USC a lot. But this guy's stats do not look that good. I'm assuming he's more of an athletic type of strong safety. All these strong safeties, all the projections are completely where I don't know if that's right, to be honest, because it says they're projected as always the same exact spot that they're in the draft. So, or their talent is always the same as their projection. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or if it's just a weird coincidence. Josh Whiteside, 5'8", speed. Let's see what he can do. B release, B- route running, and B- spec catch. I want to look at guys like that. I like the really athletic guys like that. That are short but they're really fast. I always like playing with those types of guys. They're always pretty crazy when you use them on quick routes and things of that nature. But how about if I rebuild this team a lot, maybe if we get to like the Super Bowl or something, I'll play a game with them. That's important. But Chargers lose emerging star Keenan Allen for the rest of the season. What even? Well, Keenan Allen just went down with a huge injury, I guess. Against the Saints of all people, they don't even have a defense. Who could have tackled him? Oh no. We're gonna have to read the news on this one. Achilles tear, 49 weeks? Oh no. Oh, that's really, really bad. That's gonna ruin us a little bit. Jeez, that's actually a really rough situation to be in. So we might actually have to look into a running back, or I mean a receiver, regardless. I really hope that doesn't affect Keenan Allen in any way for like his career, because the Achilles tears are pretty bad. I mean, those are kind of rough to recover from. The cool thing is I can draft literally any position I want because our team needs that much work. So I'm looking at all these positions with the understanding that I can draft any of these guys if I really want to. Okay, this guy's talent does not equal where he's projected. So there's the first guy I've actually found whose talent doesn't look like it's in the right area. Here's a really nice tight end, or a high projected tight end. I don't know though. I want to want a nice middle linebacker. That'd be really nice if we can get a good one. I mean, the thing is we need any position that can come to us. The main thing to me right now is that I want the most talented player on the board. I don't care. I don't care like what position it is. I just want the most talented player on the board. That guy's decent. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to go pretty far down though, because I'm spending all my scouting points so far in the first round. I don't know though. I haven't seen any guy who really jumps out at me. Like I'm gonna have to wait. I think until the I feel like I'm gonna have to wait until the what's it called? The scouting combine is done, or the draft combine is done. And I see some of their athletic skill, because until I see their athletic skill, I don't think I'm going to be able to know who I really want to get, because a big part of any sport is your athleticism, and you can't really tell how athletic these guys are going to be just yet. Let's take a quick second look at these defensive tackles. This guy's not bad. Now let's get this guy. He's not quite as good as Teron. Manning doesn't appear. I want to look at some receivers. So let's look at some second round receivers. We got any crazy tall guys? We got a 6'5" guy here, Jared Johnson. He sucks. I'm not even gonna look at the last stat. And before I look at these shorter guys, I'm gonna have to make sure I know what their athletic skills are. So I'm gonna wait until the draft combine comes out. This guy does not have much talent. Wow, projected undrafted in terms of his talent. Same with this guy. This is kind of weird. Okay, so the first round, the game had the first round right. They had all the right talents for the first round, but it's the second round. All these guys are projected to be undrafted, so I guess they can't be that good. I'll just send them to midseason. We'll cut a couple of weeks. The thing is, I know there's going to be kind of a slow process in terms of scouting and everything. It's kind of meant to be honest. I mean, the idea here is that we go through this pretty slowly. I want to be very detailed in how we're going to go about doing this, and something I'm actually considering is live streaming this rebuild, because I think if I live stream it, you guys will be able to comment while I'm streaming who you think I should draft, what free agents you think I should get, and that way I can really build this series around you guys. So if you think live streaming is a good idea, comment that down below, and I'll try doing live streaming. I think that can actually be a pretty cool thing. It would just depend how many of you guys are actually willing to watch a stream and actually get there and watch some of it, and then we'll figure it out from there. But I think that'd still be a really cool idea. So we have 306 scouting points. Let's see here. We need a left guard actually. Yeah, this guy's not that good. We need strong safeties. B+ hit power, B- zone coverage. Mid first round projection or talent. And he's a second round pick, so that'd be a pretty nice steal for us. Mid first round talent from another second rounder. Mid first round talent. We are finding some steals right here. We need a running back. Mid second rounder. Do we have? I wouldn't mind a really. I think we need to work on our offense the most. This Victor Tolbert guy really dropped in his draft stock. I think we need to look at some of those. Oh, I know what we need to do. Let's read some of the news. Usually the news has some of those crazy stories about those guys who you know what I'm talking about, like the draft player stories. I like reading those so we can get a better idea of who we should scout. So I've never looked at this. I haven't looked at the stories yet in this game. This is much different than I'm used to. Wisconsin halfback Victor Tolbert, this is the guy who I was looking at, struggles with on-field consistency, leaving draft experts puzzled. Okay. The top wide receiver prospect in the game, Jarrett Johnson, shattered his collarbone. This injury puts his draft status up in the air. So there goes the top wide receiver and the top running back. Look, Victor Tolbert is moving down my latest mock again. When he's on, he looks brilliant, but when he's off, he looks undraftable. So he's just extremely inconsistent. Always tough seeing one of the top Nations League players go down. Jarrett Johnson, #faith. That's how you need to scroll to the left and right. Auburn's game ended last night in amazing fashion when defensive tackle Deron Manning blew up the line and forced a safety. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think we looked at him a little bit. Can't base a guy off one play, but still, I like reading the draft stories a lot. It makes me actually like that running back more, because when he's that talented to be like that crazy good, that's pretty interesting to me. But either way, this right outside linebacker Alan McCray looks freaking crazy. B+ the power, B+ the finesse moves, and B+ power moves. If we can somehow find a way to get our hands on him, he's the #1 overall pick, so I'm gonna have to really try to pull some strings there if I want to figure that one out. But this would be great to be live streaming, because then you guys can tell me what you think I should do there. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking. You guys are gonna have to comment down below what you think. But this guy's not much talent. How about Quentin Harper? He doesn't have talent either. I don't even want to look at him. I like looking at cornerbacks. Sometimes there's some gems, some diamonds in the rough. This guy's not one of those guys, though. He kind of sucks. B+ man coverage though. B+. C+. I like the B+ man coverage though. If he has speed, he'll be a really good player. But that's what I'm saying is I don't know how athletic these guys are. So let's just, let's go a little bit quicker. Let's get into the playoffs. We're going to be missing out on some scouting points because I decided to do this, but that's okay. We'll just have to do some more in-depth, better analysis when it comes to scouting, because I think we need to pay closer attention to what positions will do the most for me. Obviously, every position will probably start on my team that I draft because our team is that bad. But I think I need to look at the positions that I'll need most. If we have Phillip Rivers for a couple more years, I don't need a quarterback, but I'd really like to have one. And that way I could probably trade Phillip Rivers for maybe a second-round pick or something to a team that really needs him. I really wouldn't mind that because I don't really like Phillip Rivers that much. I do, but I don't like him as a Super Bowl quarterback, if that makes sense. I don't think he's good enough to actually lead us to a championship because the rest of our team isn't good enough. If we had a really good defense and stuff, then yeah, I could trust Phillip Rivers, but we don't. Like, our defense is not there. And neither is our offensive line, neither is our running game, neither is our receiving game now that Keenan Allen's injured, so we need a lot of work. Keenan Allen going down with that injury really did end up being kind of a nightmare for us. So if we somehow manage to make the playoffs through all of the things that have happened, that would be phenomenal, but I don't think we have it in us. I think we'll probably finish, I was saying 8-8. Practice player, I guess we're getting some practice players, interesting. I was projecting 8-8 for us, and we went 8-7-1, so I was basically dead on. That's not going to be good enough for us to make a playoff spot. We're going to get pretty much a dead even pick, which kind of sucks. Well, let's look at stats real quick, guys. Let's look at stats real quick so we know what we need to work on most. So, Phillip Rivers, 4,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Our QB rating of 94.5, or pass rating 94.5. That's not bad. I don't mind that season at all. Okay, that's really not bad. Running game. Melvin Gordon, 11 fumbles. Okay, that's kind of where I need to draw the line. That's not good at all. I don't think Melvin Gordon's the future for a running game. I think we need to find a new running back in the draft. Travis Benjamin went beast mode. I mean, without Keenan Allen, he got 1,000 yards, 90 receptions, and 9 touchdowns. Those are Pro Bowl level stats. That was a tough one. Antonio Gates did a great job, 72 receptions. James Jones did a great job with 70 receptions. We got Stevie Johnson. We got Keenan Allen. Okay. I can roll with that. That looks really good. Blocking. We got. I mean, this is hard to even tell. I can't even tell from blocking stats. I don't know who I'm supposed to. I don't know who had a good year and who didn't. It's hard to tell. Either way, Denzel Perryman, our middle linebacker, did a great job. Forced any fumbles or anything? He forced 3. Melvin Ingram forced 6. Let's go right to linebacker. He's a beast. Got 101 tackles too. Joey Bosa with 80 tackles and 11.5 sacks in his rookie year. 8 tackles for loss, 11.5 sacks. It's a total of about 20 tackles for loss. Forced 2 fumbles. I like Joey Bosa's rookie season a lot. That is a beast rookie season. I'm kind of upset for Red didn't get any interceptions. That's kind of bad. Brandon Flowers got 2 though. Okay, there we go. I'm really happy with Joey Bosa. I mean, geez, freaking 20. I mean, he totaled about 20 TFLs. That's really, really impressive. So, I want to upgrade all my players' stats. I'll do that when you guys aren't looking with all the XP that I have. But I'll do that when you guys don't have to watch, because it's probably not that entertaining for you guys. That's the only person I'll make you guys watch if he spent XP on is Joey Bosa. He's got 13,000 XP. He probably was Defensive Rookie of the Year. Got quick development. Let's see. We gotta work on his awareness. That's the toughest thing as a rookie is your awareness. Play rec. If we can just work on these things, I think those are the biggest things at a young age that we want to work on. And his overall's an 83. Okay, that's totally fine with me. I think that's what I want to work on the most, though, is just kind of making him aware of what's going on in the game. And once that happens, then I think he'll do a better job. But either way, we need to send him to a week where we can actually do scouting. So let's wait a couple of weeks. We'll get to a scouting week, and then we will scout, obviously. So I think it's when is it? I think it's this. It's gonna be next week that I think we can do some of our scouting, and then we'll see who wins the Super Bowl and see who we need to compete with. Our division really was not that tough this year. We could have been the playoff team. We were barely even above 500. So when can I do my scouting? This is kind of weird. I want to read the draft stories too. So after this week, we'll look at the draft stories. I'll send this. We'll look at draft stories. And okay, the draft showcase should have just happened. I don't know how we only have 350 scouting points. But let's go to the draft stories. That will be here. Workout Warrior. Now that the combine is over with, there will be a lot more stories. Let's see. Workout Warrior. Cornerback Krishan Dre had a field day at the combine, testing high in every drill and quickly rising up the draft board. So an absolute beast of athleticism, I guess. If you want to talk about a beast, look up Krishan Dre. No kidding, that man's a machine. Heard the Priester. Wait, let's see. Right tackle Quentin Priester has officially been ruled out of pre-draft workouts after suffering a high ankle sprain playing basketball. I don't care that much about that. If he wants to play basketball, I mean that happens. Like, I hate it when people freak out because the guy plays another sport, like, and he gets injured doing it. Like, it's an ankle sprain. It's not that big a deal. Like, let him enjoy his life. I know it's kind of unfair to say, but that's always bothered me about draft stocks and stuff like that. Is when a player does something like not even related and gets injured, and people like freak out, like they expect their lives to focus around the sport they play or something. Krishan Dre. Let's look at this guy. He sucks though. Okay, he's got the talent of an undrafted player. Just that he's phenomenal in terms of his athletic ability, but that means somebody else can draft him and make that mistake. I'm not going to do it. I like the Travis Rutherford guy. He's a third-round player. View the combine report 3 weeks after the Super Bowl. Okay, so I need to wait a couple more weeks. But let's still scout a tad bit more. Or no, it's not good for me to waste my points when I should be waiting to see how athletic they are. To be honest with you guys. Plus, I want to wait till the offseason. Let's go to the offseason and see what types of players we can sign before we try to make an idea of what players we're going to draft. Because if we can sign a really nice player, it wouldn't make sense for me to draft a player at that same position. What is up, guys? Yellow Gaming here, and I know this is abrupt, this is kind of random, but this will be the end of the first episode. You guys are probably confused why it is ending right here, and the reason I'm doing that is because I tried to do this full first episode, this full first season in one sitting, and the rookie draft and just the free agency and all that took like an extra 40 minutes, so this video ended up being about an hour long, and it just felt like too much crammed into the first episode. It just seemed like it'd be too much for you guys to watch, especially in just the introductory video. So I wanted to break this into 2 parts. The second part will be uploaded in just a few hours, so I highly recommend you guys stay tuned and watch that next part when it comes out, because there will be a lot of very, very big moves that are made before the free agency and before the rookie draft. I would really like you guys to stay tuned and watch. So that will be it for this first episode. If you guys enjoyed it, please click that like button below. Make sure to comment your opinion of this series and what I could do to make it more interesting in the comment section below. And lastly, subscribe if you have not already to stay tuned in this series and other series I got going on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.